Hey there everybody, how you doing? I am Francis and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Side Stories. Last episode we started the self-love story. Apparently Natsuki and Yuri have a lot more in common than we would think. Anyways, we're going to finish this up. We're almost done the side story, so I'm not going to waste any time. We're just going to jump back into this, so let's go. Hey! Oh, hello? I almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well... lunch is already more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri on the stairwell much earlier since it had been a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. Today she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran into my friends, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured that I should. I haven't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with an excuse for. But I expected that. Although I still stand by what I said in the last episode that you kind of have to be truthful and let them know about how you're feeling. Like if what they're saying is upsetting you, you have to tell them. And if they really are your friends, they'll understand, you know. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with. So I figured I would share with them too. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You made cupcakes? You know it! It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Oh, thank you. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown with dark green frosting, immaculately shaped into a floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder. Wow, just reading that made me hungry. I wish Natsuki's cupcakes were real. I wish Natsuki was real. I wish I knew where the school was. How pretty. I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it. I just made them. Oh. I just thought that because green is Monika's favorite color, right? Really, it is? Like, I know she has green eyes, but I didn't know that was her favorite color. Well, yeah, but that's not really... Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. Oh, that's why. Yeah, it wasn't for Monika. It was for you, Yuri. You were in her mind when she made them. I love green tea. Oh, do you? It was just a random idea I wanted to try, so... Don't laugh at me. I'm not. I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something else, or something nice. And this is something I happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them, from past experience. Wait a minute. Remember back in the last episode, Natsuki said she was going to do something nice for Yuri, and when she does it, she'll least expect it. Was this it? Was this the something nice she wanted to do in return? Yuri turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Oh, this is something I want to know. We never really explored much about Natsuki, have we? Oh, well, I don't know. It kind of just always appealed to me. A few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got like super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. Impressive. But it's something that I always knew I liked anyway. It's like, baking is like art, but when you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would just be eaten afterwards. I see what Yuri's saying there, I get it. Like, baking is a sort of art, and... you know what the ending result is for food, right? It gets eaten. Yeah, maybe you're too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like, unconditionally. Everyone is always so thankful, and in that moment, you get to be the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel... valued? Yeah, I guess that. So you were able to make up with your friends today? There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool. And that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So they're not going to stop? I mean, it only happens sometimes anyway. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. Again, I still stand by what I said before. You really should tell your friends, like, how you feel. Like, I know they're just, like, like, friendly, joking around and whatnot, but if it's hurting your feelings, you gotta tell them. If they really are your friends, they'll understand. Like, if them teasing you is really eating you apart like that, you shouldn't just, put up with it and try to ignore it. You gotta let them know. Just saying. It's not worth it. Especially since I have somewhere to go now when I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh. I see. The cupcake's empty foil wrapper abundantly crinkles as Yuri quenches a fist. I'm glad that the situation is resolved, and that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah. Me too. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. I think deep down Yuri actually liked this. Like, she actually liked having someone to spend time with. I know that cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me. But it's the best I can do. So you can have the rest of them. Oh, what a loving gesture. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box. Then she shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. I knew it! I knew it! Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know. And I like them very much. Exactly as you thought. You succeeded. But I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you. No, they were for making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms. Natsuki? I'm such a bad person! Uh-huh. Where'd this come from? Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes. And it feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am. I'm so difficult. And I can't think of even a single time about myself that somebody would like. Well, I'll admit that you're difficult, and during my original time playing this, you were the one I cared about the least. And yeah, like you said, you may be difficult, but that doesn't make you a bad person. Like Sayori was saying in your story with her that you are not how you feel. Like I admit, I didn't like your attitude when I first played this game, but playing these side stories about you, I'm kind of growing a deeper understanding of you, like why you are the way you are, and you kind of made a fan of me, gotta admit. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, to be nice and do the things you wrote about in that letter. I knew if I tried in a club, Sayori and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of those negative things now about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinized everything I say, and later I feel like I said all the wrong things. And I just spend so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So I understand some of that through my own experience. And that's why I wanted to write the letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw it myself. Aw. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag and pulls out some tissue, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica once told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself. That makes you a good person, so don't worry about much. Also, there are things about you that people would like. Like what? Like how you're fun for people to be around. And you're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh. And you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead. And you care a lot about our people. You may not show it, but you do. And just a lot of other things. Oh? Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. What was I supposed to say? And don't you think I feel embarrassed saying this? Natsuki tries to hide a smile. Then she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it's the last time. But then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back. So ditching them all the time feels like... I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles, while she thinks to herself. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, but with little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy, and I still feel that way, but I'm spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what's making me feel so confused, because I'm threatened out of the things that should make me happy. So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. Wow. Yeah, girl, you really need to have a talk with your friends if this is going on. It's making my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are? It really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it! I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know it's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to do something so scary. To do what? You know, to end it. With them? I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. I wasn't, until recently. It's just one of those things where, like, it's been in a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it, so much that it feels like that's just how your life is now. And throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. I know the feeling though. But yeah, if you're considering this, I think... Honestly, I think it is the best case. Like, I know they're your friends, I know you were friends with them for a long time, but thinking about like how they're making you feel, you need better friends, girl. Although I would still reflect on what I said before. You gotta have a talk with them and let them know that, you know, this is not like okay. And if they really are your friends, they'll understand. If they don't stop or they tease you for, you know, talking about your feelings, then yeah, you gotta leave them. Like, screw them. They're not good people. They're not your friends. It makes me feel sick to think about. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. Again, I can get that, but I think this is something that has to be done. What are you scared of? I don't know. A lot of things. Like being alone? Not having anyone to talk to or hang out with? Not being able to replace what I have with them? And I don't want them to hate me well, you're walking away from, like, somebody, like, ending a friendship. Yeah, there's gonna be some hurt feelings, there's gonna be a little bit of hatred, but I still think you're jumping the gun on the whole ending the friendship. I still think you should at least talk to them and let them know that, you feel this way. True friends would understand. Not true friends wouldn't, no. And I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically, but... Yuri quenches her fist. Yeah, emotionally. Like, you don't have to, hit somebody to hurt somebody. You can hurt somebody, like, in the heart where it hurts the most. Words can cut deeper than a knife, Natsuki. What? If anyone ever thinks to cause you harm, I will unleash hell upon... Yes, girl! Yes! Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me. Sorry, I was just... I like that. That's all. Oh. Well, I meant it. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I needed it. Yeah, and Natsuki, you don't have to worry about being alone. Like, even if your so-called friends don't want to be your friends anymore, you're still going to have Yuri and Monica and Sayori and soon to be me. All the people in the Lizard Club. You don't have to worry about being alone ever again. As the conversation laps, Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want our people to have them anymore. Are you sure? I'm sure. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds on to that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. You're here first today. Are you going to tell me how it went with your friends? I was kind of hoping I would get to see that. And you brought reading material. Natsuki is sitting by her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga, while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. It sucks when a good series has to come to an end. Agreed. Like, it's such a big part of your life, and then one day, there's just nothing left. It makes you feel so empty. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of this series. That sucks. But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I'd want it to go on forever. Maybe. But there are some things that I wish could. On the other hand, have you ever read something that overstayed its welcome? Well, yeah, definitely. I can think of at least one thing I read that got plenty unbearable like halfway through, and the ending really sucked. So, it sucks when something good has to end, but it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plot until you don't like it anymore. I guess it sucks either way. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. Except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go out during the weekends, right? Excuse me? Like with friends at the mall or downtown or whatever? I'm not a total shut-in, Oh, my bad for making assumptions. Well, I'm sure I go out less often than other people, like you and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends and arbitrarily spend time with like that. I'm usually meeting with my board game group. Board game group? It doesn't matter. It's just more nerdy stuff. Why do you ask anyway? I was just curious. I just realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and puts her head down. I can't take this. Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she may have said or done. I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier telling them, and then I just blocked them because I'm so afraid of their responses. And now, it feels like I'm dying inside. I know it was a hard thing. I know you're shaking inside, and I'm going to, well, not wearing a hat, but I'm going to take off my imaginary hat and salute to you. A lot of courage to do that, especially a friendship that you had for a long time. I'm proud of you, girl. Proud. Oh. I'm sorry. Totally unsure what to do, Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusually hard breathing fills the air. Then she speaks again, barely above a whisper. Help me. I feel sick and I want to hit my head against things. Please help, I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Natsuki meekly nods through her rapid breath, head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on a step behind her. Then she puts her hands on Natsuki's shoulders. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods. Her shaking becomes much more apparent, though, Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe right now. You're in a good and safe place, where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulder, she can practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me, okay? Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. Beneath her hand, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise as Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, though Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. That's good. Let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical world. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breaths going in and out. All the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. Nobody can hurt you here. Minutes pass in silence. By now, the worst of it has passed, but Yuri is determined not to move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees, and her breathing has mostly steadied. Then she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak out. You don't need to apologize, you did nothing wrong. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you. Is this going to keep happening? It may, or it may not. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down again. Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her open book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off her cover. I don't think I could have gone through that alone. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone. As she says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to openly share her thoughts, but something about Natsuki, of all people, makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Yeah, that's because you guys have been spending so much time together and you guys notice that you're a lot more alike than you would think, and I would think. Like, when I first met these Doki Dokis, I didn't see any similarities between them at all. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job of hiding it that it's taken a long time for Yuri to finally realize it. And because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted, demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the journey of learning to love yourself. True friendship. Do you really mean that? You're probably going to regret saying that if you do. How so? Because I'm probably going to have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want and drag you around to a lot of places. I see. But you already said it. You can't take it back now. Ah, well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept the responsibility then. Mm-hmm. I know a good ice cream place. Oh? That means you'll finally figure out my favorite ice cream flavor. Huh? What are you talking about? When we first met you, you were talking about people's favorite ice creams. You didn't know Yuri's. Little did you know she was listening while she was preparing the tea? Oh, you don't remember? The first day that you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor, but for me, you said you had no idea. Yep, I remembered. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. I do. I'll leave a link down in the description down below to that episode if you guys want to see that. It was part 1 of Respect. Oh wait, yes I do. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. It's a good guess, but my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together. That sounds good. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy! How is that fancy? Oh, I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry? Hey, strawberry is my favorite. Fun fact, strawberry is also my favorite. What a coincidence. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I still have a sick feeling in my stomach, but it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. You absolutely did do the right thing. You need to be like around people that love you, not people that are the reason for like any negative feelings you got. Is there anything better I could be doing? Not that I know of. There's nothing that will make this easy for me. And you already did more than I thought anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote. Yeah, you kinda, skipped around it, so we never really decided to discuss it. But I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about. Except that I think it helped me understand my needs a little bit better. The way I like to be treated. And the kinds of friends that I want to have. That's why I want to start coming here in the first place. Even though I was so scared of causing more problems, I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially. Oh, well, not exactly. What do you mean? Nothing. I followed you here, that's all I'm trying to say. I may have tracked you down first, with the help of Sayori. Oh. But you said... I was shy, okay? I wasn't ready to, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Well, I guess I'm glad that you worked up the courage. Even if it was in your own way. I can tell that you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and it will make things better in the long run. Exactly. Like I said before, Natsuki, I'm proud of you. I think anyone would be proud of you right now. I am! Anyone? You mean like you? Yes, like me. You know, I could get used to this. As long as you don't tease me too much. Fine. Just a little then? Just a little? That's fine. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now. But I really do think that good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings. Thanks. Yep, good things are in store until you get deleted. It feels nice to be reassured. True friendships. I love to see it. The two girls continue their conversation through the remainder of lunch. But a new feeling hangs in the air. A feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there will be another Literature Club meeting, where the 4 club members will happily spend some time together. Each of them, all with their own special qualities, have something unique that they can deliver to one another. Through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of the next, Yuri thinks to herself. Since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend will be a good time to visit the bookstore together. I was about to say that. I literally was about to say that. How about we take Natsuki with us? Alright, well, that's the end of that. And that one actually made me happy. I like that. So if I go to side stories, yeah, there's one more side story, equal. Now we have Play the Mall, there is one more. So next time's gonna be the end of the side stories. So I'm guessing this is gonna be the story where, Monica becomes self-aware and Sayori tells the club that I'm joining the club. So looking forward to that. Either way, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time for the finale of the side stories. And then we can jump back into the main story. I'm looking forward to that. Well, not for you guys, because you're going to be seeing these side stories after I upload all the main story. But as you guys know, I've been doing the side stories first because I know what this game is and I know what it does. So I want to get through the side stories first. So yeah, I'll be getting back to that soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me. See you guys next time. Have a nice day. Bye, everybody.